Welcome back, friends. Welcome back again to one more other lecture session from this channel. So in this lecture session we will be studying regarding significance and importance of mitosis and meiosis in detail. So here, as we all know, mitosis, or it is otherwise known as equational division. So here, why the specific mitotic cell division, or it is otherwise known as equational division here? Because the specific mitotic cell division, it is responsible for the maintenance of constant chromosomal number both in case of the parental cell and even in case of the daughter cell. So the reason why the specific mitotic cell division, or it is otherwise known as equational division. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Mitotic cell division. Mitotic cell division, or it is otherwise known as equational division, or it is otherwise known as equational division. Equational division. So here, why it is otherwise known as equational division here? Because it is responsible for the maintenance of constant chromosomal number both in case of the parental cell and even in case of the daughter cell. Because it is responsible for the maintenance of constant chromosomal number, both in case of the parental cell and even in case of the daughter cell. Constant chromosomal number both in parental cell and in case of daughter cell. And here we need to understand the occurrence of mitosis. So here most commonly mitotic cell division, it is observed in case of diploid cells. And here there are certain exceptions to this particular strategy. Mitotic cell division, it is not only observed in case of diploid cells, and even the specific mitotic cell division, even it is also observed in case of certain haploid cells. So here some of the examples in which the mitotic cell division, it is observed in case of haploid cells, it may include lower flowering plants and even in case of the social insects like male honeybees. So here in case of male honeybees and even in case of lower flowering plants, mitotic cell division, even it is also observed in case of haploid cells. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Mitotic cell division. In general, mitotic cell division is observed in case of diploid cells. But here there are certain exceptions. Certain exceptions to this particular strategy. There are certain exceptions to this particular strategy, right? To this particular strategy. So here mitotic cell division, it is observed in case of certain haploid cells like lower flowering plants and even in case of male honeybees. Mitotic cell division is observed in case of certain haploid cells like male honeybees, and even in case of lower flowering plants. male honeybees and in case of lower flowering plants. And in addition to this, here we need to understand some of the biological functions of mitotic cell division. So here mitotic cell division, it plays an important role in regulating the cell growth and even the repair mechanism. Is it clear? Mitotic cell division, it plays an important role in regulating the cell growth and even the repair mechanism. So here in order to understand this particular concept, here we need to take the advantage of the diagrammatic presentation. Is it clear? So let us assume it as the parental cell. Parental cell, right? Parental cell. So here when the parental cell, when it participates in the mitotic cell division, it yields or it produces two daughter cells. So here these are nothing but the two daughter cells, right? Two daughter cells. Two daughter cells. And again, each of the daughter cell, it acts as a parental cell to produce another two daughter cells. So let me show it here. These are the another two daughter cells, right? And again, each of the daughter cell, when they participate in the mitotic cell division, again it produces another two daughter cells. So let me show it here. So these are nothing but the two daughter cells, right? So here from the concern diagram, what we can understand here, as the specific cell division, as it is in progress or as it is proceeding from one generation to the another generation, here size of the biological cell, it is going on reducing here. Is it clear? As the specific mitotic cell division, as it is proceeding from one generation to another generation, here the size of the biological cell, it is going on reducing here. So here in order to maintain the constant size of the biological cell, here the specific mitotic cell division, it plays an important role. So here in order to maintain the constant nucleocytoplasmic ratio, here mitotic cell division, it plays an important role. That means after the successful production of the specific daughter cell, here the mitotic cell division, it comes into the picture in regulating the growth of the biological cell. So here the mitotic cell division, it is responsible for increasing the size of the nucleus and even it is also responsible for increasing the volume of the cytoplasm. So let me show it here. The mitotic cell division, it is responsible for increasing the size of the nucleus, and even the specific mitotic cell division, even it is also responsible for increasing the volume of the cytoplasm. Right? So here, when the size of the nucleus and when the volume of the cytoplasm increases, now here the specific two daughter cells, again, they remain similar in size, likewise the parental cell. In what way the specific parental cell, it is having one constant size, even the specific daughter cells, they acquire the similar size because of the mitotic cell division. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Mitotic cell division is responsible for regulating the cell growth, and repair mechanism. Cell growth and repair mechanism. Right? So here, during the cell growth, disturbance in the nucleocytoplasmic ratio takes place. Disturbance in the nucleocytoplasmic ratio occurs. nucleocytoplasmic ratio occurs. So here, in order to maintain the constant nucleocytoplasmic ratio, here mitotic cell division, it plays an important role. Is it clear? And in addition to this, even the specific mitotic cell division, it plays an important role in regulating the repair mechanism. That means, in order to replace the damaged cells with the accurate biological cells, here mitotic cell division, it plays an important role. Let me write it here. Mitotic cell division. Mitotic cell division plays an important role in regulating the growth in the size of a living organism, in regulating the growth in the size of a living organism, and even to regulate the repair mechanism, Is it clear? So let me arrange the things here. And in addition to this, here we need to understand that the specific mitotic cell division, even it is also responsible for regulating the continuous growth in case of specific living organisms like plant throughout its life cycle. So here, in order to regulate the continuous growth in case of specific living organisms like plant throughout its life cycle, here there is a requirement of a specific plant tissue termed as meristematic tissue. So here specific meristematic tissues like apical meristems, lateral meristems and cambium, they are responsible for regulating the continuous growth in case of specific living organisms like plants. So here within the meristematic tissue, here we can observe the rapid proliferation of cells. It is because of the presence of a specific cell division termed as mitosis. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Mitosis is also involved in regulating the continuous growth in case of specific living organisms like plants, throughout its life cycle, So here specific tissues like meristematic tissues, right? Meristematic tissues like apical meristems, lateral meristems and even cambium is responsible for regulating the continuous growth, in case of plants. Isn't it? In case of plants. So here, as we all know, meristematic tissues, they are present both in case of the root system and even in case of the shoot system. So here, both in case of the root system and in case of the shoot system, meristematic tissues, they are present only at the tips. So here, if we consider the specific root system, at the very tip of the root system, here we can observe the presence of meristematic tissues. Is it clear? So let us assume it as the root system. Right? So here it is nothing but the root system. And here at the very tip of the root system, here we can observe the presence of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, right? So as I have already mentioned you, within the meristematic tissue, here we can observe continuous proliferation of cells. It is because of the presence of a specific cell division known as mitosis. So here, because of the continuous proliferation of cells within the meristematic tissue, very adjacent to the meristematic tissue, here we can observe many number of permanent cells. Is it clear? Many number of permanent cells. So here, all these are nothing but the permanent cells, right? Permanent cells. Permanent cells. So here, as the number of the permanent cells increases, obviously the size of the root system, it also increases. So here, if we consider the length of the root system as 10 centimeter, out of the 10 centimeter, here 9 centimeter, it is occupied by the means of root system, and whereas 1 centimeter, it is occupied by the means of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, right? So in this way, the specific meristematic tissues, it plays an important role in regulating the continuous growth in case of specific living organisms like plants throughout their life cycle. And then after we will be studying regarding significance of meiosis in detail. Is it clear? So let me arrange the things here. And if you look at the significance of meiosis, so here as we all know, meiosis, it is a type of cell division which is most commonly observed in case of reproductive cells or in case of sex cells. So here within the reproductive cells or in case of sex cells, conservation of chromosomal number takes place. It is because of meiosis. Is it clear? As we all know, male father has chromosomal content as 2n, and whereas the female mother has chromosomal content as 2n. When 2n from the father and the 2n from the mother, once when they undergo fusion, it leads to the formation of an tetraploidy condition. So here never and ever in tetraploidy condition, it is capable to give rise and diploid cell. So here in order to regulate the reduction in the chromosomal number exactly to half, here there is a requirement of a specific cell division termed as meiosis. So here meiosis, it is not only responsible in regulating the reduction in the chromosomal number exactly to half, and even the specific meiotic cell division, even it is also responsible in regulating the conservation of chromosomal number. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Meiosis is most commonly observed in case of reproductive cells or sex cells. So here, in order to regulate the reduction in chromosomal number, regulate the reduction in chromosomal number and the conservation of chromosomal number meiotic cell division plays an important role. Is it clear? And as we all know that the specific meiotic cell division, it is observed in case of reproductive cells or in case of sex cells. So here within the reproductive cells or in case of sex cells, genetic exchange or crossing over takes place in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. So here because of the genetic exchange or because of the crossing over in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, Here there is a chance for the occurrence of genetic variation. Is it clear? Because of the genetic exchange or because of the crossing over in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes within the reproductive cells, here there is a chance for the occurrence of genetic variation. And here the specific genetic variation, it plays an important role in regulating the evolution process. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Meiotic cell division. Meiotic cell division, which is most commonly observed, within the reproductive cells, is responsible for regulating the genetic exchange, or crossing over in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes, right? Homologous chromosomes. So here, because of the genetic exchange or because of the crossing over in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, here there is a chance for the occurrence of genetic variation. That means the specific characters or the concerned characters which are not observed in case of parental organism, such specific characters they may observe in case of the daughter cells. Is it clear? So let me write it here. Because of the genetic exchange, or crossing over in between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, So here the frequency of genetic variation increases. So here, because of the increase in the frequency of the genetic variation, here there is a chance for the occurrence of change in the evolution process. Is it clear? So here this is regarding significance and importance of mitosis and meiosis in detail. And in the next upcoming lecture session, we will be studying regarding numerical based questions from cell cycle and cell division in detail.